is Brian Jackson. I'd like to start maybe a little prayer of who I am as a native man. Buju gitchmai do the kawas nung gum, mindem nam gum a pegish, a kandaswan middle of mask cane no wa. Then the commons mini on Mishomas Ben Gaichi would Zana Weni Mishnam, Zana Weni Mishnam Bejikinoma, magician the Muskowsy one, magician the Muskowsy one, magician na Moen. Gana Weni Mishnam, Gana Weni Mishnam Dum Gum, Minhabango Dapana O same one would call their Magni Dug, Chia Be indigenous cause, what's his do name. I'd just like to start out by saying that I'm just asking the Creator for taking over today, basically asking for that knowledge as our grandmothers and grandfathers did, asking him to extend his hand down here for this time here today. My name Chia Be Big Buck, belongs to the Fish Clan. I'm also an active Flambeau tribal member with Bad River and Lac Reserve bloodlines as well. Well, I think part of my background, when I growing up is, I grew up in Milwaukee, and on the south side of Milwaukee. So, we were poor, growing up and going to schools that were high with gang activity, getting into troubles, my teenagers, and where I had to go live with my dad when I was 14. And that's where it really began for me, I think, as far as having some guidance. I'll say, a stronger guidance. I'm not saying nothing with my mom, but I think the missing link was my dad, of that connection of him spending a lot more time of showing me different things through my teenage years, and showing me how to be a man, of being respectful. So I think, that whole reflection of my advocacy for Indian country has been a result of, upbringing. Most importantly, I always say that I remember where I come from. Even though I got some education, seeking this doctorate degree that makes me no better than the next person. I always feel humbled when I got more seasoned people around me. But I think my life experiences has molded me to the person I am. I think when I reflect back to understanding the roles of what Fish Clan is, a Fish Clan is basically you're looking at teachers, educators, philosophers, and understanding that during my educational journey, and now, I understand my place in life of advocating for Indian country. I think my personality is pretty strong. I'm not afraid to voice challenging discussions to move forward in a good way. I think having that respect, for my father, and when he says that. This is how I see you, and it's your turn. That's what he always talks about too. You're gonna be asked from different people in their stages of life to help people, and so and sometimes you can't say no, and it's hard to say no too, because you don't want to say no to people, especially when you're seen in that light, to offer prayers and pipe ceremonies and different requests. And so that's how I looked at him over the years too, because he ever says no hardly. Because he does weddings, Ojibwe. He does funerals, no Ojibwe. He does namings for folks, feast, pipe ceremonies. He does the whole thing, anything that's asked of him when it relates to language and culture. And so I've been able to watch him as a mentor over the years of how he lives his life and how he goes about things, being culturally minded. So that's one of the things that I try to teach, my boys as well. Talk about the importance of tobacco. I'm part of some ceremonial drums right now, and I got my boys starting to go to those now, so they understand the dynamics. Because really, when it comes down to, my dad talks about there's no wrong way of praying. My dad always say to dance hard when you're out there dancing. Don't take it lightly. I thought it was important to show part of who I am as a Ojibwe man. Part of me is we like to powwow as a family. So that means we're traveling different powwows 2 or 3 times a month, 7-8 months out of the year. I think part is to show that having that balance I talked about earlier, is be able to express myself when I'm dancing, and that's why I wanted to share this outfit. This outfit was made by some friends, my wife. So many hands were part of it, my hands as well. So I think it's important that, you talk about the story of your outfit. This particular outfit I have right now is a traditional outfit. traditional dancer. I usually got a bustle on, but then I got my bustle on right now, eagle feather bustle. And so it's a lot of beadwork. A lot of work goes into it. A lot of money goes into it. So when you're out there dancing, you're dancing hard. I think for me personally, I think I always talk to students about being role models because we're all role models in a sense. For me personally, I always do my best to be a role model within the community, within the program, the many hats I wear, whether it's an education committee member, a board member from Lifetime School, WIA president, Narch program director, and most importantly, my biggest role model is being a father. I think that's most important to me. Be able to sit down with my boys and be able to talk to them every day, what's going on with them. I always say if they got something to say, they need to say it. Because my 8-year-old, he always gets caught up. I want to say something. I know what you're gonna say, and he kind of just stops there. But I always remind him. I said, "You gotta tell me what's on your mind, even if it's gonna be a no. You have to tell me. I want to know." And so that's the most important. I think that's where it really begins as a family man, and my role as a father, as a husband, uncle, brother. Just being a family man is important to me. And I think that's really the beginning point where I try to emphasize to younger generations about the importance of family. It's not constant like some kids do.
The Giants.
These guys got to be doing other things. Balance, in the capacity I serve now within Narch, as be able to provide some guidance, to Great Lakes Tribal Council, as a leader within the organization. I like to highlight Narch within Great Lakes and Tribal Council consistently. And here's what we're doing as a program. And, I think for myself, being able to advocate and push as a reflection of the development I have with an opportunity over being in the education field and the health for, since about 18 years now. And it's been a great journey of being able to weave in a lot of different experiences in education, which has helped me to become the person today.
On for a couple of years now, and these young boys have been doing a real positive thing.